Welcome to the class. I'm really excited to get started and to show you guys how profitable this niche in real estate is. So just to go into an overview for those of you who don't know exactly what probate real estate investing is, basically when someone inherits a property and wants to sell it, we need to find those people, right? This is one of the great things about probate real estate is that when people inherit properties, most of the time they want to turn those properties into cash. And especially if they're living in a different city, they're living out of town, they're going to be motivated to sell that property quickly and get cash out of it. So we want to find them. So we investors, we market to those people after we've located them, which is what this class is all about, and then we drive leads to us and we get those properties under contract. Now you may be familiar with what it means to get a property under contract by doing other types of real estate investing. We're going to go into this in more detail in a later lecture, but just as an overview, getting a property under contract basically means that you have made an offer on that property. They have signed a purchase and sale agreement. The seller has done that and agreed to sell it to you, and you will have control of the property for some period of time, such as 1 month, so that you can do some due diligence, as we say in the industry, right? Do some research, make sure that everything the seller has told you is true. Line up your financing if you need to do that, if you're using hard money or something, and then you can get out of the contract if you need to and escape from buying that property if you need to do that. So you get the property under contract, right? We execute an exit strategy after we have purchased that property by wholesaling it to another investor for some quick cash, or by rehabbing the property for a bigger profit. That's basically the process of probate real estate investing in a nutshell. And so that's the process. And of course, the devil's in the details. We need to learn how to do this in order to make large amounts of money. Why is this niche so great, and in my opinion so much better than foreclosures and other types of motivated sellers? Well, one of the main reasons is there are far greater levels of equity in these properties. Obviously, not every single property is going to be totally paid off and have no mortgage on it, but usually when people inherit properties, they're inheriting them from their parents who have lived in them for decades, and oftentimes these properties will be totally paid off. So you're not having to deal with doing short sales. You're not having to deal with, okay, how much do they owe? Is this worth it for me or not? And it gets more complicated. In this case, you get a property and you just buy it outright. You have all the equity in there, and that's exactly what we are always looking for in this business. So this is a niche that has the most equity in these houses in general. And as I said, most people that inherit property, they're open to selling it because they want to get a quick sale, they want to get cash in their pocket, and a lot of these people who inherit properties, we don't know what their financial situation is like. So they may be thinking, oh my goodness, I just inherited this property, and this is going to save my butt. I'm going to be able to get cash out of this as soon as possible to pay off some debt or whatever financial issues they may be having. So a lot of people that inherit property, they want to sell it. Most of these properties do not need a huge rehab. I can tell you the difference between a $10,000 or $20,000 rehab and a $30,000 or $40,000 rehab is not just the money. It is the time, it is the complexity, it is the risk involved. Most of these probate niche properties that we get need much less of a rehab, and that saves us time, that saves us money, and we make a lot more money because of it, and it saves us headaches. So for all of these reasons, these are better properties to get usually, okay? And then of course there's less competition from other investors because they either don't know how to talk to these sellers, or they're concerned about ethical issues with, you know, marketing to someone who just lost a loved one and trying to buy their property. I've had this conversation with a lot of people, talked to a lot of people about this particular issue, and a lot of people say, you know, they don't want to have to deal with upset and emotional people, and they feel like maybe it's wrong to do this. And I've even had some of those thoughts myself. But after doing this for years, one thing you realize is that there are a lot of people out there that inherit property, and they are emotional, and they are upset, obviously, and they don't want to have to deal with the process of trying to sell this property, but they do want to sell, they do want to get the cash out of it. So we are helping these people. I can tell you many stories about people who have been very grateful that we contacted them, that we just paid cash for their property. We did it as little as 1 week in some cases, and they're happy. They've got cash in their pocket. They've got this headache gone. They can move on. You know, a lot of times when these kind of things happen in their lives, people want to move on. Motivated sellers in any niche, whether it's probate, foreclosures, tax liens, or otherwise, they want to move on with their lives. They're trying to get past this chapter in many cases. So we are helping them to do that, and of course we are trying to get a huge discount on this property because of their motivation. So, you know, this is one of the reasons why there's far less competition in this niche. A lot of people aren't comfortable doing it. So if you can get over that, and you can get used to talking to these sellers, you know, just by always being cheerful and polite, and if you do get an upset caller every once in a while, which you will, you know how to talk to them, you know what to say to them, and we do cover that later in the course. Of course, there will be times when people are simply angry at you for sending them a letter and marketing to them after they've lost someone in their family. That's understandable, and we just kind of have to deal with that. But again, this is one of the reasons why most investors don't like dealing in this niche, and they're leaving huge amounts of money on the table. I tell you, as I said in the promo video, our most profitable deals come from the probate niche, and they're so much more profitable, and they're so much easier in so many cases that we focus almost primarily on this niche now and a couple other of the motivated seller niches, because we just make so much more money in so much little time compared to the others that it's just, in our opinion, it's just by far the best niche to be working in. So we're excited to show you how to do all these things, how to find these sellers, how to market them, how to get these properties, and we're going to do some analysis of these properties with you. We're going to teach you the whole entire model. We're going to give you the letters we use. We're going to show you how to go to the courthouse and get this information. You know, I was just talking to a very experienced realtor just a couple days ago. We were looking at a property that we were thinking about acquiring, and we did put an offer on it. And we started talking about some investing, and he had done some foreclosure investing, and he had never even heard about marketing to probate sellers. He didn't even know that you could go to the courthouse and get this information and you can market to this group of people. So this is a guy who has 20 or 30 years of experience in that industry. He's a very knowledgeable guy. He's done real estate investing for years very successfully, and he didn't even know about this. So this is something that I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a secret, but I know very few people who know how to do this. So we're going to teach you how to do this in this course, and we're going to try to get you great value for your money.